In every era of F1, we can observe great teammate battles which added something to maximise the excitement of the sport. In the turbo hybrid era, the Hamilton-Rosberg rivalry can be considered as the best teammate battle of the era, as none of the other battles were capable of heating the grid like that. However, some kind of new teammate battle is developing within the Red Bull team between Verstappen and Perez, resembling the Hamilton-Rosberg rivalry. So, this video is dedicated to discussing the present status of the Verstappen-Perez rivalry. But before we proceed, hit the subscribe button and smash the bell icon for more exciting updates. Perez joined Red Bull ahead of the 2021 season as the replacement of Alexander Albon, who wasn't able to perform up to the expectations of the team management. Normally, Red Bull maintained a practice of giving opportunities to Red Bull juniors in their two Formula One team. But this time, they went for Perez, who was a Ferrari junior by origin and drove for Mercedes-powered cars for several years. This radical decision came as none of the Red Bull juniors demonstrated a sufficient skill set to partner with Verstappen at the Red Bull team in 2021, which appeared to be a strong year for them. Perez's role was clear within the Red Bull team setup in his first year, as he had to play the wingman role for Verstappen, who was in fine form with his powerful RB16B to win his maiden driver's title. He performed his role perfectly, defending against Verstappen's main rival Hamilton in most of the occasions, and these defences gave the opportunity for the Dutchman to make his clear way for the 2021 title. So, the Red Bull duo had a very healthy relationship until Perez expressed his desire to fight for the title in his second season at Red Bull. Since then, the Red Bull garage heated up several times with this little rivalry between teammates. Even though Perez wanted to win the 2022 title, he was dominant only in a few street circuits, and all other races were won by Verstappen in a year that he recorded a record-breaking number of victories. Last year's overall standings clearly showed that Verstappen is in another league compared to his teammate, and it is a difficult task to beat him for the championship. This resembles the situation within the Mercedes team before 2016, where there was a big competition between Rosberg and Hamilton for the championship. Hamilton is someone who could be rated as the GOAT of the sport, with 7 world titles to his name. And Rosberg is most probably not someone who you can place within your top 20 drivers list in F1. But he beat Hamilton to win the 2016 driver's title after a season that was full of wheel-to-wheel battles, collisions, and heated-up conversations between teammates. So why can't Perez repeat the same script at Red Bull to beat Verstappen for the championship this year? The Mexican is in prime form this year, winning the Saudi Arabian GP and Azerbaijan GP, as well as recording 2 more second-place finishes. The only thing that he lacks, but Rosberg possessed, is a little bit of luck. Checo had the best chance to win the race at Miami, as he was the pole sitter for the race when his teammate was 9th in the starting grid. He had a good start and maintained a very healthy lead against the rest of the pack since the beginning, but Verstappen charged through the pack from 9th to 1st at the end of the race, stealing the victory from his teammate. The only thing he didn't possess at Miami was luck, as he brilliantly drove his car throughout the weekend. Perez still has the chance to challenge Verstappen, as Rosberg did to Hamilton in 2016. If he can perform consistently, recording victories, the Mexican can remain in contention for the title till the end. The former Sky Sports F1 pundit Johnny Herbert thinks that the Red Bull team principal Christian Horner will be unable to control the battle between Perez and Verstappen if a feud breaks out at Red Bull. Christian Horner is the team principal of the Red Bull team since its inception, and he previously experienced the battle between Vettel and Webber over 4 seasons, when they had the most dominant car on the grid in the period between 2010 and 2013. At the 2012 Malaysian Grand Prix, Vettel ignored the team's former multi-21 request, overtaking Webber to victory at the end of the race. Going back to Sebastian and Mark, there was a bit of that for sure about the championship. Did they control it? You can probably see what Sebastian did in Malaysia. They weren't able to control that, Johnny Herbert told, remembering the old rivalry within Red Bull. Verstappen also did the same thing last year at Sao Paulo, ignoring the team orders in a situation where Perez needed some extra points to claim the second spot in the drivers' standings, so we can expect such behaviour from Verstappen in the future as well. Can you control the driver when he's in the cockpit? Well, the only way you can control him if he's going against you as a team in that moment is to have a red button on your computer and you basically turn the engine off. The only other way you can do that is make his life more difficult when you go to the next race, but by doing that, you only harm yourself as a team. So actually, you can have a word and sort of say, come on, respect each other, we will let you race. I hope that sort of continues, Herbert added further. Even though there is a tense fight between two Red Bull drivers, we can see good discipline between them as teammates, because they never made contact or collisions destroying each other's race. So we can expect that both will continue the same tradition, not harming the team's efforts in the constructors' standings, as Perez is famous as a very calm figure, despite his somewhat arrogant teammate. Even though we described the fight between Perez and Verstappen as something similar to the fight between Rosberg and Hamilton, Checo's father rates it higher than that, and he sees something similar to the Prost-Senna rivalry in relation to his son and Verstappen. Prost and Senna were teammates at the dominant McLaren team in the late 1980s, and there was a very close battle between these two for the 1988 and 1989 drivers' titles. You have to remember when McLaren had Senna and Prost, Antonio Perez told, "This is the same thing. Today, we are living it again. They are two tigers in the same cage. They both think the same, have the same breakfast, eat the same. You see, they both try to take fastest lap from one another. In qualifying, they want the pole. They want the fastest in practice." Both Senna and Prost became multiple world champions at the end, and Perez is yet to win his maiden title to equal this legendary rivalry. Do you think that Perez will be able to win the title at least to match with the Rosberg-Hamilton rivalry? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel to get more exciting Formula 1 news. See you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.